Yeah, I mean, when I went through and got my MBA, well, my bachelor's as well, you study a lot of change management. ADKAR resonated because one, it was easy, one of the easier ones to remember, if I'm being honest. But two, you can apply it to a variety of different scenarios very easily. So I just found it more resourceful than most of the others. So ADKAR basically, you take any scenario. The first thing you want to assess is, are people aware for the need for the change, which helps you figure out how you're going to communicate that change. Then, as you're communicating it, you measure the D, which is there a desire to change, right? Are people all in favor of this change? Or are they pushing back because they don't like it, because they feel like you're taking something away from them? It's a good level of understanding for you as a leader to know what are the next steps you take. As you move forward, do you give people the knowledge to facilitate the change? Is there training involved? Is there additional information you have to share to prove your case on why this change makes sense? The next A is, do they have the ability to change? Basically, you train them. Do they retain the knowledge? Can they do the work? Do they have the tools needed to do the work? Do you have the right structure around the change to make it successful, that implementation piece of sorts? And the R is for, how do you reinforce that change? How do you keep it going? Do you have something in place? And this can be a reward mechanism. This can be a check-in system. This can be, a review after a month, whatever it may be. But ADKAR for me is just a very simple kind of 5-step process to really keep yourself grounded to the important fundamental pieces of change. Like I said, even if you do it properly, there's no guarantee that people are going to be smiling at the end of that change. And you have to be okay with that as a leader. But if you follow the ADKAR model, you'll be in a really good spot. And you should feel good about yourself that you did all the right things to keep your team informed and up to date and as knowledgeable as possible on the reason for the change and a successful rollout of it. At that point, it becomes, that old cliche of skill versus will. At that point, it becomes a will issue, right? Like, do people want this or not? And I guess that's where I referred to earlier. At some point, we're all adults. If that change means that this is no longer the place for you as an adult, you kind of have to make that decision, which is really tough, but also can be really good if you decide to say, let me go on to something that's more for me, which I think we all should do from time to time.
I really like that in the beginning it talks about, do we have the desire? Do we have the knowledge to make the change? Do we have the tools to make this happen? Lots of times we try to push change to happen without really going through those stages or understanding those.
Yeah, and like I said, this year alone, I can probably count several examples where, even as much as I love ADKAR, I didn't follow it. I didn't do it because we were too busy or something had to change too fast. So I think that's another great thing for people to understand, right? Like, a lot of these types of podcasts and shows and clips you see on YouTube, like, everyone that you listen to is speaking to the best version of themselves and the perfect world scenario. It's important to know, like, we all get it wrong constantly. And while we have these ideas and these processes that we try to stick to, sometimes we don't get to do it all the time as much as we'd like to, even though that's exactly how we want to operate. So if you find yourself listening and say, man, I wish I could do that all the time, rest easy. Even me that's talking about it, I don't do it all the time, and give yourself some grace. But as long as we all keep trying, it'll be a better world.